Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, The English Globe. I hope you all are doing great today and feeling excited to learn something new in English. My name is Adam, and I'm very happy to be with you in this episode. Whether you are listening while walking, relaxing at home, or maybe even on your way to work or school, thank you so much for spending your time with us.
And I'm Julia. I'm also very happy to join you today for this fun and helpful podcast. If you are learning English and sometimes feel shy or confused, don't worry. We are here to help you step by step. This podcast is perfect for beginner English students who want to feel more confident, speak more clearly, and enjoy the process of learning every day. You don't need to understand every single word. Just listen, relax, and enjoy.
Today we are going to talk about a very important topic that can really change the way you learn English. The title of this episode is Unlock English Fluency with Daily Practice. And in this episode, we will show you how small actions done every day can help you speak better English, understand more, and feel more confident.
That's right. You don't need to study for many hours or read big grammar books. You just need a little time every day, maybe 10, 15, or 30 minutes. We will share easy ideas that you can use every day, even if you are very busy. We will also give you examples, practice with you, and show you how to build good English habits. These small habits can lead to big changes.
During this episode, you will learn many simple ways to practice English, like talking to yourself in English, listening to English music, watching short videos, or writing a few sentences in your notebook. We'll also show you how to create a daily plan, and we'll talk about common mistakes that many students make when learning English. Don't worry. We're going to make everything very simple and easy to understand.
And the most important thing we want to say today is this. You can do it. Yes, you. Even if your English is not perfect right now, even if you feel nervous or slow when speaking, don't give up. Every English speaker, including us, started as a beginner. Learning a new language takes time, but if you practice a little every day, you will become better and better.
So if you're ready to improve your English, build your confidence, and unlock your fluency step by step, stay with us. This episode is full of practical advice, friendly conversation, and simple tools to help you succeed. Are you ready to begin?
Let's go. Let's unlock your English fluency, together one day at a time.
Before we start talking about daily English practice and all the useful ideas we have prepared for you, I think it's a good idea to have a little friendly chat first. This helps us feel relaxed and also helps you, our wonderful listeners, hear real English conversation in a natural way. Don't worry if you don't understand everything. We will speak slowly, clearly, and we will try to repeat important words and ideas to help you understand better.
Yes, that's true, Adam. And I also think it's fun to begin with a small conversation before jumping into lessons or tips. So, maybe we can talk a little bit about our own experience learning languages. Many people don't know this, but I actually started learning English when I was a teenager, and in the beginning, it was very difficult for me. I felt shy to speak. I made a lot of mistakes, and sometimes I even wanted to give up. But I kept going, and the one thing that helped me the most was building a habit of practicing every day, even just a little bit. That small daily practice became my secret to success.
Wow, I didn't know that, Julia. That's really inspiring, and I think many of our listeners feel the same way. When I started learning English, I was also nervous because I thought I had to be perfect. I thought that if I made mistakes, people would laugh at me or not understand me. But over time, I realized something very important. Making mistakes is part of learning. Every time I practiced, I got just a little better. I used to listen to English songs and try to sing along. I would watch English TV shows with subtitles, and I would write short sentences in my notebook every morning. It wasn't always easy, but doing a small thing every day made a big difference over time.
Yes, exactly. That's the power of daily practice. When you do something every single day, even for just 5 or 10 minutes, it helps your brain remember better. It becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth or drinking water. And soon, you don't even have to think about it because it becomes a part of your normal day. That's how I started thinking in English. At first, I translated everything in my head from my first language into English. But after many days and weeks of practice, I started to understand English more naturally, and I didn't have to translate anymore.
That's such a good point, Julia. Many students think they need to study grammar books for hours to become fluent, but the truth is, daily contact with the language is what really helps. You don't need to understand every grammar rule. You just need to hear English, speak English, and use English every day. It's like learning to ride a bicycle. You don't learn by only reading a book about bicycles. You learn by riding it a little bit every day until it feels easy.
Yes, that's a great example, Adam. And, one more thing that helped me when I was learning was speaking to myself in English. I know it sounds funny, but I would talk to myself in the mirror or describe what I was doing. For example, I would say, "Now I am making coffee," or "I am going to the store to buy some milk." This small speaking practice helped me feel more comfortable with everyday English.
I did the same thing, Julia. I used to walk around my room and talk about my day like, "Today I went to work," or "I'm feeling a little tired, but I want to watch a movie." It may feel strange at first, but it's a great way to train your brain to think in English. The more you say the words, the more natural they feel. And remember, listeners, you don't need to speak fast. Speak slowly, clearly, and don't be afraid to repeat the same sentence again and again.
Yes, repetition is very important, especially for beginners. If you say something 10 times, your brain starts to remember it. That's how I learned many common phrases and useful expressions. I would repeat them again and again until they became automatic. So if you are listening to this podcast and you hear a sentence you like, you can pause the audio and say it out loud 5 or 10 times. That simple practice can help you speak more fluently.
That's a great tip, Julia. And I just want to say to all of our listeners, if you are listening to this podcast right now and you are trying your best to learn English, we are proud of you. Learning a new language is not easy, but it is possible, and you are doing the right thing. Just keep going, one step at a time, and don't stop. Every day, even a few minutes of English practice can make a big difference in your progress.
We're here to help you, encourage you, and give you the tools you need. So don't be afraid of mistakes, and don't feel bad if you're not perfect. Nobody is perfect, and we are all learning together. What's important is that you enjoy the journey and keep practicing.
All right, now that we've warmed up with this little conversation, it's time to go deeper and talk about why daily practice is so powerful and how you can make it a natural part of your everyday life.
Let's do it! Let's help our listeners unlock their English fluency, one day, one step, and one habit at a time. Now that we've had a lovely, relaxing conversation to start things off, I want to take a moment to focus on something that I believe is essential for every learner, especially beginners, and that is the power of daily practice. You might be wondering, why is daily practice so important? Well, let me tell you this. It's one of the most effective ways to improve your English skills quickly and consistently. The reason daily practice works so well is because it allows your brain to absorb the language in small, manageable pieces over time, making it easier to remember and use. Think about it this way. When you learn something new, whether it's a language or a skill like playing the guitar, the more frequently you practice, the better you get. This is because the brain is naturally wired to learn through repetition. And by practicing English every single day, even if it's only for a short amount of time, you are strengthening the connections in your brain that help you understand and speak English more fluently.
That's absolutely right, Julia. I couldn't agree more. And in fact, I want to share something with all of you, our listeners, that might help you understand just how powerful this daily practice can be. You see, when most people think of studying a language, they picture long hours of sitting with textbooks, trying to memorize rules and lists of vocabulary words. And while that can be helpful at times, it's not the only way to get better at English. And in fact, it's not even the most effective way for many learners. The truth is that language learning is much more about creating habits and routines that you can easily incorporate into your everyday life. You don't need to study for hours at a time to make progress. You just need to practice a little bit every day. A great example is brushing your teeth. Every day you brush your teeth without thinking about it. It's part of your daily routine. You don't brush your teeth for an hour. You spend just a few minutes on it, but you do it consistently, and as a result, your teeth stay healthy and clean. The same goes for English practice. If you spend just a small amount of time every day practicing English, even for only 10 or 15 minutes, you'll begin to see improvement over time. And over a few weeks or months, you'll be amazed at how much progress you've made without even realizing it.
Yes, that's such a great comparison, Adam. It really shows how consistency is key. And when you practice every day, you're not only improving your vocabulary or grammar skills, you're also building a strong sense of confidence in yourself. Learning English, especially when you're starting out, can feel overwhelming at times. But when you practice daily, you begin to see that improvement, even in small ways, and this helps you believe in your ability to continue learning. One of the most important things for a beginner learner is to not feel discouraged by mistakes or slow progress. The more you practice, the more you'll feel comfortable using English in real situations, and that confidence will continue to grow. And I'll say this again, confidence is key when learning a new language. The more you practice speaking, writing, listening, and even reading in English every day, the more comfortable you will feel with it, and soon it will feel like second nature.
Absolutely, Julia. Confidence is one of the biggest factors in language learning. And when you make English practice a daily part of your routine, it also helps you build a habit. A habit is something that you do automatically without thinking about it. For example, when you wake up in the morning, you probably don't have to remind yourself to get out of bed or brush your teeth. It's just part of your routine. In the same way, by practicing English every day, you're building a habit that will make speaking, listening, and thinking in English feel natural. And just like how a good habit can help you with things like brushing your teeth or exercising, practicing English daily can help you improve your language skills every day. It's important to understand that learning English doesn't have to feel like a big, stressful task. It can be simple and fun, and it's about making small, consistent steps toward improvement each day. And those small steps add up over time.
That's right, Adam. And when you're practicing English every day, you also begin to notice some really interesting things about how your brain learns. You see, the brain learns through repetition. The more times you repeat something, the stronger the connection becomes in your mind. So when you hear or speak English regularly, your brain gets used to the sounds, the words, and the grammar patterns, and it starts to remember them more easily. This is why it's so important to practice regularly. If you practice just once in a while, it's hard for your brain to remember everything, and it can feel like you're starting over each time. But with daily practice, those connections in your brain grow stronger and stronger, making it easier for you to recall words, phrases, and grammar when you need them. And remember, repetition doesn't mean you have to say the same thing over and over in exactly the same way. You can repeat a word or phrase in different contexts, or try using it in a sentence, and that helps you understand how to use it correctly.
Exactly. And speaking of repetition, we can practice some sentences together right now so our listeners can get a sense of how this works. Are you ready, Julia?
I'm ready, Adam. Let's do it. Listeners, we're going to repeat some simple sentences together. Don't worry if you don't get them all the first time. Just listen and then repeat. Ready? Here we go.
First sentence, I practice English every day to improve my skills. Now you say it with us. I practice English every day to improve my skills.
Great. Let's try another one. I feel more confident when I speak English. Now you repeat after us. I feel more confident when I speak English.
And one more. Small steps every day lead to big improvements. Now you try. Small steps every day lead to big improvements.
Great job, everyone. As you can see, repeating these sentences helps you build the habit of using English, and the more you repeat, the more it becomes automatic and natural. That's the power of daily practice.
Yes, exactly. And just remember that this is not about being perfect or memorizing everything at once. It's about taking small steps, making English a part of your daily life, and doing it regularly. Over time, those small steps add up, and you'll find that you're understanding more, speaking more clearly, and feeling more confident. The more you make daily practice a routine, the more you'll improve.
Absolutely, Adam. And we're here to help you every step of the way. As you continue practicing, you'll find that English becomes easier and more natural. And before you know it, you'll be using it with confidence in real-life situations. So, keep going, stay consistent, and don't forget to enjoy the process. Now that we've discussed the importance of daily practice, let's move on to something just as important: how to actually practice English every day in simple and easy ways. You might be thinking, how can I practice every day? I don't have time to sit down for hours and study grammar. Well, don't worry. There are so many ways to practice English, and many of them don't require a lot of time or effort. The key is to make English a part of your everyday routine, just like you do with other activities. It's about finding small ways to use English throughout your day so that practicing becomes natural and fun. Today, we'll talk about some easy ways that you can start practicing English every single day.
Yes, exactly, Julia. And don't forget that practicing doesn't always mean studying from a book. You can practice English in ways that feel more like fun activities. The first way I want to talk about is something that is super easy and very helpful: speaking to yourself in English. You might be thinking, wait, what do you mean speaking to myself? But actually, it's a great way to improve your English. Even if you're by yourself, you can speak in English about what's happening around you. For example, you might say, I'm going to the kitchen to make some coffee, or the weather is really nice today. When you speak aloud in English, even if it's just about simple things you are doing, it helps your brain start thinking in English, and it helps your mouth get used to the sounds. So, don't be afraid to talk to yourself. You might feel a little strange at first, but soon it'll just feel like a natural part of your routine. That's such a great idea, Julia. Watching videos in English can be so helpful. And along with watching videos, another great way to practice English every day is by reading simple English books or news articles. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't know where to start. Well, don't worry. There are so many resources out there for English learners. You can start with very simple English books, like children's books or beginner-level stories. These books are written using simple vocabulary and short sentences, making them perfect for beginners. And if you like reading news, you can find websites that offer simple news articles written in easy-to-understand English. Even if you just read for 10 minutes a day, you'll be helping to improve your reading skills, and you'll learn new words and phrases that you can use in your daily life. It's an easy and enjoyable way to practice.
That's so true, Adam. And reading is not only great for improving vocabulary, but it also helps with understanding sentence structures and grammar. Now, we can't forget about listening. Listening to English podcasts or music with lyrics is another excellent way to practice. When you listen to podcasts or songs, you're training your ear to hear the language more clearly. For beginners, it's especially helpful to choose podcasts or songs that include lyrics so you can follow along. You can listen to a song and look at the lyrics online at the same time, which allows you to see the words as you hear them. And with podcasts, you can listen to content designed for learners, which will give you a chance to hear simple everyday conversations. Listening is a powerful tool because it helps you get used to the rhythm of the language, and over time, you'll find that understanding spoken English gets easier.
I completely agree, Julia. Listening really helps with pronunciation too. The more you hear how words are pronounced in natural conversations, the easier it becomes for you to say them correctly. Now, I also want to talk about something else that's very important: writing. Writing might seem like something you do in a classroom, but it's actually one of the best ways to improve your English every day. You don't need to write long essays or reports. Just start by writing a few lines every morning. You can write a short journal entry, a simple description of your day, or even a list of things you need to do. Writing regularly helps you practice forming sentences, using new vocabulary, and organizing your thoughts in English. The best part is that when you write, you can go back and check your work, which helps you catch any mistakes and improve over time. So, take 5 or 10 minutes each day to write a little something in English. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the more you write, the better you'll get.
Yes, that's a great point, Adam. And I think a lot of students might be nervous about making mistakes when they write, but that's okay. Mistakes are part of the learning process, and writing helps you learn from them. It's not about being perfect, it's about getting better every day. And speaking of practicing, let's do something fun now. We'll give you a couple of role-play examples of how you can practice speaking and writing in real situations. Adam, would you like to do the first role-play?
Of course, Julia. Let's imagine we're in a coffee shop and I'm the barista and you're the customer. We'll practice a simple conversation. Ready? Here we go. Good morning. Welcome to the coffee shop. What can I get for you today?
Hi, I'd like a cup of coffee, please. Can you make it with milk?
Of course. A cup of coffee with milk. Anything else?
Yes, I'd also like a croissant, please.
All right. A coffee with milk and a croissant. That'll be $5.50.
Here you go. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Enjoy your coffee and have a great day.
That was a great role play, Adam. As you can see, practicing these kinds of conversations is really useful. You can create your own role plays for different situations, like ordering food, asking for directions, or talking about your hobbies. The more you practice, the more confident you will become in speaking English in real-life situations.
Exactly, Julia. And you can practice this kind of speaking practice in so many situations. Whether you're at home, in a cafe, or even walking around the city, you can use these simple daily practices to improve your English. Remember, it's all about making English part of your routine and finding fun, easy ways to practice every day.
All right, everyone. Now that we've discussed the importance of daily practice, it's time to explore something that can help you become more comfortable and confident with your English, real-life situations practice. One of the best ways to improve your English skills is by practicing conversations and phrases that you're likely to use in your everyday life. Using English in practical, real-world contexts allows you to feel more prepared and at ease when speaking with others. And don't worry, you don't have to use complicated words or long sentences to start practicing. Simple, everyday conversations are the foundation for building fluency. So, let's take a look at some of the most common situations where you might need to speak English and how to approach these moments with confidence.
Exactly, Julia. Using English in everyday situations is key to becoming fluent. The more you expose yourself to real-life conversations, the more you'll start to notice patterns in the language, and you'll naturally begin using these patterns in your own speech. This approach not only improves your speaking skills, but it also helps with understanding what others are saying. Let's begin with something that happens often in our daily lives, talking about your day. It's a common topic in most conversations, whether you're talking to a friend, family member, or coworker. Usually, when you meet someone, one of the first things they might ask is, "How was your day?" or "What did you do today?" These are very common questions in English, and learning how to respond to them is a great way to practice speaking naturally.
Right. Talking about your day is a wonderful way to start building confidence in using English. It's something you can easily practice every day, and it's also a perfect way to engage in casual conversations. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just describing simple things you did throughout the day can be enough to practice your speaking skills. You can start by telling people what you did, how you felt, or even what your plans are for the next day. For example, you could say something like, "I woke up early and went for a walk," or "I had a busy day at work." These are clear, easy-to-understand sentences that allow you to practice using basic vocabulary and simple structures.
Exactly, Julia. Talking about your day is very practical and can be done in almost any conversation, so it's a great way to practice. You can also describe not just what you did, but how you felt during your day. For instance, you could say things like, "I felt happy because I met a friend," or "I was tired after working all day." These small additions help you expand your vocabulary and make your sentences a little more interesting. Let me give you a few more examples to help you practice. I woke up early, had breakfast, and went to work. I spent the afternoon studying for an exam. I met a friend for lunch, and we talked about our weekend plans. After work, I went to the gym and had a great workout. I relaxed at home in the evening and watched a movie. You can also practice talking about future plans or things you're looking forward to, such as, tomorrow, I'm going to visit my family. I'm planning to go shopping this weekend. Next week, I have an important meeting at work.
Exactly, Adam. These are all really useful and simple sentences you can use in daily conversations. The goal here is to get comfortable with speaking about yourself and your day in English, even if you're just describing simple actions or events. Once you start practicing these kinds of sentences, you'll notice that speaking English begins to feel more natural. And the best part is, you can use these sentences in so many different situations. Whether you're talking to a friend or meeting someone for the first time, talking about your day is always a good conversation starter. Now, let's move on to another situation that everyone encounters at some point. Ordering food. Ordering food in English can sometimes feel a little intimidating, especially if you're in a foreign country or an unfamiliar place. But it doesn't have to be difficult. Once you learn a few key phrases, you'll feel much more confident when it's your turn to order at a restaurant, cafe, or even when you're ordering takeout. For example, you can simply say, "I'd like to order," or "Could I have?" These are polite ways to make your request. Learning these expressions will help you sound polite and clear when ordering food in English.
That's right, Julia. One of the most common situations where you'll need to use English is when you're ordering food. It's important to know how to ask for things politely, and you don't have to know a lot of complicated words to do this. Using phrases like, "I would like," or "Can I get," will help you express your order clearly. For example, you can say, "I'd like a coffee, please." "Could I have a sandwich with cheese?" "I'd like the chicken salad, please." "Can I get a bottle of water?" You can also add extra details if you have any specific preferences or requests, such as, "I'd like it without cheese, please." "Could I have it to go?" "I'd like my coffee with milk, please." And don't forget to practice saying "thank you" and "please" when ordering food. These are simple but important words that show politeness, and it will make your interactions more pleasant and respectful.
Great point, Adam. Being polite when ordering food is very important, especially in English-speaking countries. It shows respect and makes the experience more enjoyable for both you and the person serving you. Remember, even if you're nervous, simply using the phrases we just mentioned will make you sound polite and confident. You can also practice saying some of these sentences out loud to get used to them. Now, let's talk about another situation where you might need to use English, asking for directions. Asking for directions is something you'll often need to do when you're traveling, or even in your own city if you're not familiar with a particular area. The good news is that there are only a few key phrases you need to remember to ask for directions in English. For example, you can say, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to," or "Where is?"
Exactly. Asking for directions is very practical and easy to learn. When you need to know how to get somewhere, it's important to be able to ask clearly and understand the directions you're given. Simple sentences like, "How do I get to the nearest bus stop?" "Can you tell me where the library is?" "Is this the way to the train station?" "Could you tell me how to get to the airport?" These phrases are all very useful when asking for directions, and they will help you navigate new places with ease. You'll also need to understand how to respond to these kinds of questions. For example, someone might tell you, "Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left." It's right around the corner. You need to take the second street on the right. Learning these simple phrases will help you feel more confident when you're out and about, especially if you're in a new area or a foreign country. And remember, if you don't understand the directions, it's perfectly okay to ask for clarification. You can say things like, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "Can you say that again more slowly?"
Exactly, Adam. Asking for directions and understanding responses can be a bit tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, you'll feel much more comfortable getting around in English-speaking places. Let's not forget that understanding and using these phrases can also help when you're meeting new people or exploring new places, which is why it's a great skill to practice regularly. Finally, let's talk about something that comes up in almost every conversation: the weather. Talking about the weather is a universal topic, and it's a great way to start small talk with someone you just met or when you don't know what else to say. You can talk about the weather in simple terms, using phrases like, "It's sunny today," "It looks like it's going to rain," or "It's really cold outside."
Yes, Julia. Talking about the weather is one of those classic conversation starters. It's easy to talk about, and it doesn't require too much thought. You can simply say things like, "It's sunny today," "It's really hot outside," "It looks like it's going to rain," "The weather is nice and warm today," "It's really cold today, isn't it?" You can also ask someone else about the weather, which is a great way to keep the conversation going. "How's the weather where you are?" "What's the weather like today in your city?" "Do you think it's going to rain later?" These kinds of questions are easy to use, and they help you practice speaking in everyday situations. Plus, everyone experiences the weather, so it's something you'll always have in common with others.
So we've covered a lot today: how to talk about your day, order food, ask for directions, and discuss the weather. These are just a few of the many situations where you can practice using English, and they're all situations you're likely to encounter in your daily life. By practicing these real-life scenarios, you'll feel more comfortable speaking English and using it to connect with others in meaningful ways.
Absolutely. And remember, practice makes perfect. The more you use these simple phrases and sentences, the more natural and confident you'll become in your English speaking. Keep practicing every day, and soon it will feel like second nature.
Now that we've explored how to use English in real-life situations, let's move on to something very important and helpful for all of you who are just starting your English learning journey: a daily practice schedule. One of the biggest challenges that beginner students face is not knowing how to organize their time when studying English, and sometimes this confusion leads to stress, frustration, or even giving up. But the truth is, if you create a small, simple, and easy-to-follow routine that fits into your lifestyle, even if it's just for a few minutes every day, you can make real, meaningful progress with your English skills and begin to feel more confident, more motivated, and more capable every single day. You don't need to spend hours and hours studying English like you're preparing for an exam. You just need to be consistent, and you need to practice a little bit every day in a way that feels manageable and enjoyable, so you don't feel overwhelmed or bored. When you practice a little bit every day, your brain starts to get used to the sounds, rhythm, and flow of English. And this helps you remember words more easily, speak more clearly, and understand more naturally over time. So today I'm going to give you a very simple and beginner-friendly daily English practice routine. Something that anyone can follow, no matter how busy your day is, no matter where you live, and no matter what your English level is right now.
Yes, and this daily routine we're about to share is one of the best ways to keep your English practice organized and balanced, because it includes all the basic skills: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. But it's broken down into small, short parts so that you can fit it into your morning routine, your lunch break, or even your evening before bed, depending on when you have the most free time. Many students ask us, "How long should I study English every day?" And the answer really depends on your lifestyle. But we believe that even 15 to 30 minutes a day is enough to make progress, as long as you are focused, present, and consistent during your practice time. So now, let's break it down step by step, and I'll guide you through exactly how you can use just 15 to 30 minutes each day to practice and improve your English without stress and without pressure.
All right. Let's begin with the first step in your daily English schedule, which is speaking practice. Now, speaking is often the most difficult part for many beginners because it feels uncomfortable at first to talk in a new language, especially if you don't have someone to practice with, but that's okay. because you can still practice speaking by yourself, and this is actually a very effective way to build your confidence and improve your pronunciation. So, in the first 5 minutes of your daily English practice, just talk out loud about anything. Yes, anything at all. You can describe your day, your plans, what you're doing, what you see around you, how you feel, or what you want to do tomorrow. For example, you can say, "Today I am feeling good. I woke up early. I made a cup of tea. I am listening to an English podcast." These kinds of simple sentences help your brain connect thoughts to language, and the more you do it, the more automatic it becomes. If you feel shy, just speak quietly or even whisper. But don't skip this part. Speak every single day. You can even look in the mirror while speaking, which helps with your facial expressions and pronunciation. Remember, you are training your mouth and brain to work together, so it's very important to speak, even if you make mistakes. Mistakes are part of the learning process, and every time you practice, you are improving.
Yes, Julia. And once you've done your speaking practice, the next part of your daily schedule should be listening, and you can do this for 5 minutes too. Listening is such an important skill because it helps you become more familiar with how English sounds in real life. When you listen every day, your brain starts to recognize common words, sentence patterns, and intonation, and over time, you'll begin to understand English more easily, even when people speak fast. For your daily listening, you can choose anything that's simple and clear, maybe an English podcast for beginners, a short video, or even an English song with subtitles. If you're not sure what to listen to, you can listen to this podcast again and repeat it as many times as you like. While you're listening, try to focus fully on the speaker's voice. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Just listen for the main idea. You can also pause and repeat what you hear. For example, if someone says, "Good morning, how are you today?" You can pause and say it out loud, copying the same tone and pronunciation. This is called shadowing, and it's a powerful way to train your ear and your speaking at the same time. So remember, just 5 minutes of focused listening every day can really help you improve your understanding and fluency over time.
That's right, Adam. And after speaking and listening, the next part of your practice schedule should be reading or writing, and you can spend 10 minutes on this part. Now, reading and writing are great ways to expand your vocabulary, improve your sentence structure, and understand how English is used in different situations. You can choose to do either reading or writing based on what you enjoy more or what you feel you need to practice that day. If you're doing reading, choose something short and simple. Maybe a beginner English story, a short article, or a piece of news written for learners. Read slowly and carefully and try to understand the meaning of each sentence. If you see a new word, try to guess its meaning from the context before looking it up. You can also read out loud, which helps with your pronunciation and fluency. Now, if you prefer writing, then take 10 minutes to write about your day, your thoughts, or your goals. You can write 3 or 4 simple sentences about what you did today, what you plan to do tomorrow, or how you feel. For example, today I went to the market. I bought some vegetables. It was sunny and warm. I feel happy because I learned some new English words. Even short writing like this helps you practice sentence structure, vocabulary, and grammar in a natural way. If you write every day, you'll start to see your progress, and that's a great motivation to keep going.
Exactly. And the most important thing about this daily practice schedule is that it helps you build a routine. And that routine becomes a habit, and that habit becomes a part of your life. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to understand everything. You don't need to speak fast or write long essays. All you need to do is show up every day and give your best for just 15 to 30 minutes. Over time, this small daily effort will lead to big results. And here's a simple schedule you can follow. 5 minutes. Speaking. Talk about your day or describe your surroundings. 5 minutes. Listening. Watch or listen to an English podcast, video, or audio lesson. 10 minutes. Reading or writing. Read a short story or write a few lines in English. If you have more time, you can repeat one of the steps or do all of them for a little longer. You can also add vocabulary practice by writing down 3 to 5 new words each day and making simple sentences with them. But if you only have 15 minutes, that's perfectly okay too. Just keep going, keep practicing, and keep showing up every day.
Yes. And remember, learning a language is like planting a seed. You don't see the tree grow in one day, but if you water it every day, even just a little, it starts to grow, and before you know it, it becomes strong and beautiful. That's exactly how your English skills will grow. Just 15 to 30 minutes of daily focused practice can truly change your life. And the best part is, you can do this anywhere. At home, at the park, on the bus, or even while waiting in line. So please start today. Don't wait for the perfect time, because the perfect time is now. You are capable, you are improving, and we believe in you.
So, are you ready to build your daily English habit? Set a reminder on your phone, write it on your calendar, and make this a part of your day, just like brushing your teeth or having breakfast. Practice every day, even just a little, and we promise you'll start to see real progress in your English skills. The key is consistency, not perfection. You've got this. Now that we've talked about building a daily English routine and how to organize your time for speaking, listening, reading, and writing, we want to talk about something that many English learners experience, especially beginners. This is a very important part of your learning journey, and we're going to be completely honest with you because we care about your progress. Today, in this section, we're going to talk about some of the most common mistakes that many students make when they are learning English, and more importantly, we'll also share some friendly advice, encouragement, and practical tips to help you avoid these mistakes and stay motivated on your path to fluency. If you understand these mistakes and learn how to avoid them, your journey will become smoother, more enjoyable, and much more successful.
Yes, Adam. And the very first mistake we want to talk about is something we see so often, and it's this idea of waiting for perfection before you speak. Many learners think, I can't speak English now because I don't know all the grammar rules. Or, I want to speak fluently, but first I need to memorize more vocabulary. Or, I will start speaking after I understand everything. But the truth is, you will never feel 100% ready, and you will never learn how to speak if you don't start speaking today, even with mistakes, even with pauses, even with simple words. Learning to speak is like learning to swim. You can read books about swimming, watch videos about swimming, and listen to podcasts about swimming. But you only learn when you jump into the water and start moving, even if you don't feel perfect.
That's such a good point, Julia. Many students feel nervous or embarrassed when they speak English because they are afraid of making mistakes. And that brings us to the second common mistake we want to talk about, being afraid of making mistakes. This fear stops so many learners from practicing speaking or writing, and it creates a mental block where they feel stuck or too shy to use their English. But I want to tell you this clearly. Making mistakes is a natural and necessary part of learning. Every time you make a mistake, you are learning something new. Even native speakers make grammar mistakes sometimes. What matters most is that you keep trying. If you only wait to speak when everything is perfect, you will never start. So don't worry about perfect grammar or perfect pronunciation. Just speak, just write, just practice. Every time you use English, even with mistakes, you are moving forward.
Exactly, Adam. And the third mistake we see often is this: not being consistent. Some learners study for 3 hours one day, and then they don't practice again for a week. Or they get very excited for 1 week and then stop completely when life gets busy. But the truth is, small and regular practice is better than big and irregular study. You don't need to study for hours. You just need to show up every day, even if it's only for 15 minutes. Just like we talked about earlier, learning English is like building a habit. If you want to become fluent, you need to make English a part of your daily life. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, even for a short time. Even if you are tired, even if you are busy, even if you don't feel motivated. Just do a little bit every day. That is how you build progress, one small step at a time.
And now, let's talk about something more positive. Let's talk about how to stay motivated, especially on the days when learning feels hard. We all have days like that. Days when we feel tired or slow or frustrated. But here's the good news. You can train your mind to stay positive by reminding yourself why you are learning English in the first place. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to connect with more people. Whatever your reason is, write it down and look at it often. You can also keep a small notebook where you write your daily practice. This helps you see your progress and feel proud of your effort. Another way to stay motivated is to celebrate small wins. Did you speak in English for 5 minutes today? That's a win. Did you understand a new word? That's a win. Did you write a sentence in English? That's a win. All of these small actions matter, and they are helping you grow.
Yes. And let me add one more thing that's so important. Be kind to yourself. Learning a new language is not easy, and it takes time. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't think, oh, she speaks better than me, or he learned faster than me. Your journey is unique, and your progress is real. It's okay to make slow progress. It's okay to forget sometimes. It's okay to have bad days. What matters most is that you don't give up. Be proud of every step you take. Speak slowly. Speak with joy. Speak with courage. And remember, English is not a test. It's a tool to help you connect with the world, share your ideas, and open new doors in your life. So use it every day with patience and love.
To quickly review, here are the 4 common mistakes we talked about today that we want you to avoid. Waiting for perfection before speaking. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start speaking. Being afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. Every mistake helps you grow, not being consistent. A little practice every day is better than a lot of practice once a week. Losing motivation. Stay focused on your goals, celebrate small wins, and believe in yourself.
And if you ever feel lost or unsure, just come back to this podcast, listen again, and remember that you are not alone. We are here with you. We believe in you. And we know that if you keep going, keep practicing, and keep showing up every day, you will unlock the power of English fluency, step by step, word by word, sentence by sentence.
That's right, Julia. And to everyone listening, you are doing amazing. You've already taken a big step by listening to this podcast today, and that means you are serious about learning. Keep going, stay strong, and remember, English fluency is not far away. It's already inside you. You just have to unlock it.
Now, dear listeners, we are going to do something really fun and powerful together. A little activity that we call the Student Challenge. This is your chance to take everything we've talked about in this episode and turn it into real action that will help you improve your English step by step, day by day, with confidence and purpose. You have already listened to so much helpful advice about daily practice, staying motivated, avoiding common mistakes, and building a simple daily English routine. But now it's time to use that knowledge and really start practicing in your own life. So here is your challenge, and I want you to listen carefully and really try it. Every morning, for the next 7 days, talk to yourself in English for just 2 minutes. That's it. Just 2 small minutes of your day. You can do this while you are brushing your teeth, while you are drinking your tea or coffee, while you are walking to school or work, or even while you are sitting alone in your room. You don't need anyone to practice with. You don't need to be perfect. All you need is your voice, your thoughts, and your commitment. This is your special time to speak freely, to make mistakes without fear, and to practice using real English in a very comfortable and personal way. You can talk about anything you want. You can describe your day, your feelings, your dreams, or even your plans for the afternoon. You can say simple things like, "Today is a sunny day. I feel happy. I will go to work. I will eat lunch with my friend. I will watch a movie tonight." The topic doesn't matter. What matters is that you open your mouth and speak in English, even if it feels strange at first. Every time you speak, you are telling your brain, "This is important. I want to learn. I want to improve." And your brain will listen.
That's such a great challenge, Julia. And for those of you listening right now, I want to give you a few simple tips to help you complete this challenge successfully, and also track your progress so you can see how much you grow in just 1 week. Because when you start doing something new, especially a habit like this, it can feel easy to forget or lose motivation. But don't worry, I'm going to help you stay on track. Here's what I suggest. First, get a small notebook, a piece of paper, or even use your phone, whatever works for you. And every day, after you complete your 2-minute speaking practice, write down the date and a short note about what you talked about. For example, Day 1, I talked about my morning routine. Or, Day 2, I described my favorite food. These short notes will help you remember what you've done and keep you focused on your goal. Second, if you want to take your practice to the next level, you can record your voice using your phone. Just press record, speak for 2 minutes, and then save the recording. This way, you can listen to yourself later and hear how you improve. You will notice that your sentences become smoother, your words come faster, and your confidence grows stronger day by day. Listening to your own voice might feel strange at first, but trust me, it is one of the best ways to become a better speaker.
And don't forget, this challenge is not about being perfect. It's not a test. It's a fun and easy way to build your English fluency, your confidence, and your speaking habit. Even if you feel shy, even if your sentences are simple, even if you forget words, it's okay. The most important thing is that you keep going. 2 minutes is not a lot of time, but it can make a big difference if you do it every day. Also, we would love to hear from you. If you are listening to this podcast on YouTube or a platform where you can leave comments, please tell us in the comments, "I'm doing the 7-day speaking challenge." Or, "Today is my day 3 and I talked about my favorite movie." You can even share your daily topics or experiences. And if you are feeling extra motivated, you can tell us what you learned or how this challenge is helping you. Sharing your progress is a great way to stay motivated and to inspire other learners who are listening just like you.
That's right. And remember, you are not alone in this challenge. There are so many other students around the world who are listening to this podcast and taking the same steps as you. We are a community. We are learning together, and we believe in each one of you. So take this small challenge, do your best, and have fun with it. Speak to yourself, speak with love, and speak with courage.
So once again, here is your challenge. Speak to yourself in English for 2 minutes every morning for the next 7 days. Keep it simple. Keep it honest. Keep it daily. You've got this. We believe in you. And we are so excited to hear how it goes for you.
All right, everyone, let's go. Your English journey continues now. Get ready, get speaking, and remember, every small step brings you closer to fluency. All right, my dear friends, we have now come to the end of this episode, and I just want to take a few quiet moments to talk to you heart to heart, because if you are still listening right now, it means you truly care about your English learning journey, and that makes me so proud of you. You've taken time out of your busy day to focus on something important, something that can change your life in big and small ways, your ability to communicate in English, and that is something truly amazing. Today, we talked about so many useful ideas, tips, and techniques that can help you become more confident, more fluent, and more comfortable using English in your everyday life. Julia and I shared with you the power of daily practice, and we gave you simple methods you can use every single day to keep growing. We talked about speaking to yourself, watching videos and repeating phrases, reading simple books or articles, listening to music or podcasts, and writing just a few lines each day. And we didn't just stop there. We gave you a daily practice schedule to follow, discussed real-life situations you can prepare for, and even explored some common mistakes to avoid so you can stay strong and motivated no matter what challenges you face.
Yes, and we truly hope that every word we shared with you today helps you feel more confident, more inspired, and more ready to continue your learning journey with a smile. We want to remind you again that daily practice leads to daily progress, and that progress may feel small at first, like a drop of water in a big ocean. But over time, those little drops become a river, and then a strong sea of ability and confidence. Every minute you spend listening to English, speaking out loud, writing a sentence or reading a paragraph, it all adds up. It all matters. Even when it feels like you're moving slowly, you are still moving forward, and that is what success looks like. So many students around the world are waiting for the perfect moment to begin speaking. They are afraid of making mistakes, afraid of sounding wrong, afraid of what others might think. But we want to tell you something very important. You don't need to be perfect to begin. You just need to begin. And the more you begin, the better you will become. Mistakes are not problems. They are your teachers. They show you where you can grow, and they help you improve faster than anything else.
And if you ever feel like giving up, if you ever feel tired or lost or unsure, we want you to come back to this podcast, listen to our voices, and remember that you are not alone. We are here with you. Every episode of the English Globe is created to support you, to encourage you, and to walk with you on your path to English fluency. We want to be your companions, your friends, and your guides, because we believe in you, even when you're still learning to believe in yourself. This world is so full of opportunities, and English is the key that can open so many doors, whether it's for school, work, travel, making friends, or simply understanding the world in a new way. You deserve to have that key. You deserve to express yourself clearly. You deserve to feel confident, and you absolutely have the power inside you to reach your goals.
So, dear learners, keep going. Keep showing up for yourself every day. Even if you only practice for 5 minutes, even if you speak only one sentence out loud, even if you forget a word or two, it's okay. It's more than okay. It's beautiful. Because you are trying, and trying is what makes everything possible. Progress is not about being fast. It's about being consistent. It's about loving yourself enough to keep learning, step by step, day by day. And before we finish, we have one small favor to ask you. If you enjoyed this episode, and if you found value in what we shared today, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel, The English Globe. That way, you will never miss an episode, and you can continue to learn with us every week. We have so many more exciting and helpful episodes coming up, full of tips, conversations, lessons, and challenges that will help you practice real English in real situations.
And please don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, your classmates, or anyone you know who is learning English and could use a little help, a little motivation, and a little guidance. Let's build a strong community of English learners around the world, a community that helps each other grow, that celebrates every small win, and that never stops learning.
You are doing amazing, and we are so proud of you. Remember to take the student challenge we shared earlier and let us know how it goes. Comment, connect, and keep practicing. We'll be right here, cheering you on every step of the way.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. We can't wait to see you again in the next episode. Until then, take care of yourself, keep practicing, and always remember, your English matters. You matter, and your journey has already begun.
Bye for now, and happy learning, everyone.